iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
live broadcast of the Blancpain Endurance Series qualifiers here at the end of 2017 for the last 26 spots rather in next year's Blancpain Endurance Series Pro Championship. We're here at Road Atlanta for 3 hours of GT3 racing tonight, and it's going to be awesome as usual. My name is Reese Gardner. Joining me in the commentary box, Thomas Hens. Thomas, welcome to Saturday Night Drinks with V8s Online.
Yes, hello, welcome everybody. It started perfectly, by the way. Literally, the moment we started up started our commentary, my drink decided to just spill over a little bit. So it's all going beautifully, isn't it? It's the sign of being an awesome night of racing. I have to fix up eventually, but anyway, no, it's going to be an awesome night. I think we got obviously Road Atlanta in the GT3s, kind of like chalk and cheese to me. I think it's a combo that's always worked really well because the cars just really work well around that track. It suits obviously GT cars as sort of its primary use as a racetrack. So no, it should be a great night. I think we've got a lot of really good racing ahead of us. We'll see how we go. I think we'll have a very, very close race. Obviously full field as well, 60 cars. It's going to be quite something. I'm very much looking forward to this one.
Yep, certainly. Well, to start off proceedings of the night, of course, this is Saturday Night Drinks, so let's just talk a little bit about what we're drinking tonight. What have you got in your hands tonight, Thomas?
Well, I decided quickly, literally about 10 minutes ago when I jumped down to the store to get something, I thought I'd just go with my usual choice, which is, I guess I'm a bit of a boring fellow, Carlton Dry, because I know the VB fans are going to be like, what are you doing with your life? But I mean, it's just my drink of choice. So I thought, you know what, let's just go with that. So there's my drink of choice tonight. What's yours on, Reese?
Mine is, it's something that I haven't actually tried before. I spied it in the bottle shop. Monteith's Black Beer. A dark beer blended from 5 malts with biscuit, caramel, chocolate, and coffee flavors. So, yeah.
I mean, that sounds really exotic. I suddenly feel really basic all of a sudden hearing that.
Mate, there's nothing wrong with a bit of Carlton. Let's have a little bit of a taste of this Monteith's, actually. Oh, that is nice. Wow, that is actually really nice. But apparently, we are hearing that there are some issues with the session. Teams are having trouble joining. So, yeah.
Good start.
Yeah, not the best way to kick off proceedings for the night. I'm actually having some issues myself. The race sessions aren't appearing for me in the spectator sessions, so I'm unsure as to what is going to happen here. But so most of the teams can't get in either, so we may have a non-event tonight. Well, that'd be a shame if that ended up that way. But on the off chance that that things do proceed forward going into this event, just looking back at the season so far, Thomas, it's been quite interesting, hasn't it? With the BMW teams obviously coming to the fore. We've had Core Sim Racing and Vanderwaal be some of the top competitors in this series, and it's been really good to see them bring that BMW up to the top of the timesheets. Of course, those McLaren teams, Black Star Racing obviously in round 1 at Monza, and Glacier in their McLaren. They've really taken the fight to the other teams in the McLaren, which is a car that isn't really suited to most of the tracks that we visit this season.
No, yeah, as I think actually one of my teammates in Pro Force Racing, Matt Morris, sort of said, he's sort of put it very well, I thought, was that it's a different car to drive. It's not the easiest of cars, certainly when around sort of high-speed corners. I think the last corner at Road Atlanta really kind of strikes it well for me, is that in most of the cars, maybe apart from the Ferrari, which is also a little bit of a feistier of the GT3 cars available, every other car, it's a pretty easy flat corner, really. I mean, even in the Audi with the curb there, as long as you avoid that curb on the inside, you're generally in a safe bet. But with the McLaren, I've found, for me at least definitely in hot weather where other cars you just go flat, you actually do have to lift a bit because the car just wants to spin on you because the downforce just isn't quite there compared to the other cars. So it's a different beast to handle. As we say, it's one of the ones a bit like the BMW as well, in that a few tracks it will have a lot of strength because of its power and how quick it is down the straights. So in some tracks it will actually be just as strong, probably even stronger if you do it right than the Mercedes. But it is definitely probably a trickier car to get right. But certainly if you can get it right, which a few of the teams in this championship have been able to do, it is a super rewarding car to drive in that sense.
Yeah, it certainly is. But of course, most of the teams have decided to go for the Mercedes. Of course, we've had Esther Racing Team be the sole Ferrari in our top split fields, and they've quickly become one of the fan favorites, everyone cheering them on. But for the most part, the field is full of Mercedes, and from our inside sources for tonight, Road Atlanta might be a good track for the Mercedes. The BMWs will, of course, be very strong here, but of course, they've got that long back straight to contend with. And the Mercedes, it's got that run off the corner. It's got that torque from that big German low-revving V8. And down that back straight at Road Atlanta, it's definitely going to have the edge. The McLaren will be quickest in a straight line, but the Mercedes, I think, is definitely going to win out as well.
Yeah, well, it's sort of the case as why the Merc is the favoured choice of probably certainly teams who want to be at the highest level in the GT3s, and that's why it is so popular, because it is probably the best jack of all trades of the cars available. Pretty much every other car has some sort of major weakness in its arsenal, so it's not quite able to cover every aspect of obviously road racing to the fullest, or at least to a okay degree. It usually has one weakness, but the Mercedes doesn't really have one. I mean, it may be slower than others through the corners, but it's still not bad. Obviously, it's not the fastest in a straight line because you've got the Macca there and the BMW as well, but it's still quite fast in a straight line. Got the torque out of the corners as well. I've heard a couple of people say they haven't been able to drive it well, but most people, from what I understand, it is a pretty forgiving car to drive, certainly compared to the likes of, say, the Audi, which is obviously a bit of a lethal weapon, even with the changes, even with the changes of late, which have made it a little less lethal. It still will gladly decapitate you if you just push it that little bit too hard, hit the curb wrong. It will just send you straight into the fence.
Yeah, certainly. And looking at the overall team standings for the Blancpain Endurance Series, got a little bit of a spreadsheet in front of us. I keep scrolling down and down the list, and it looks like the first Audi in the overall standings and is position 93. So the Audi team's really not having a good time of it. Of course, balance of performance is difficult, in any circumstance. God knows that real life organizers have a lot of trouble with it in GT3 racing. But I guess it just goes to show sometimes there is just one car that is not the best option for quite a few teams.
Just to quickly before, because it's looking like, unfortunately, as Jay's saying, it's looking like the session, unfortunately, we're having issues with the session. Not just us, it looks like the teams and drivers are having issues getting into it as well. So this may well be a no-go, which is a shame. I had all these beers here, and I was very keen to have a good night's of commentary with Euris, but looks like the iRacing gods have decided no at the moment.
Yeah, that is a real shame, unfortunately. Well, thank you very much for joining me, Thomas, in the commentary box, and thank you very much, of course, to Jay for putting up the broadcast. Very hard worker, Jay, and Thomas, it was a pleasure.
Yes, the little chat we had. It was good to have a little chat about GT3, but hopefully we'll obviously be back for the next one, which will be in a couple of weeks' time, and hopefully Thursday we'll have, of course, the Rallycross. That's our last broadcast for this year. So at this point, I should be there for that, and obviously, Reese, you'll be racing in it. So I hope we'll catch you on the broadcast as well. So definitely looking forward to that. So it's a bit of a shame tonight, but there is still some Rallycross action to look forward to wrap off the year, and it should be an absolute cracker. The first round was a lot of fun, had some awesome racing in it, some big crashes as well. So if you like your Rallycross, make sure you come and join us on Thursday night.
Yeah, certainly. It's a fantastic series, a fantastic concept, and Rallycross iRacing's absolutely knocked it out of the park with that one. It's fantastic. Well, either way, be sure to subscribe to V8s Online on YouTube. Make sure that you like V8s Online on Facebook as well. Follow us on Twitter and go to v8sonline.com for all the latest news. Keep up with us for our next broadcast. We at V8s Online wish all of you international audiences a happy end of year, Christmas, holidays, whatever you celebrate, period. And we'll see you on Thursday for Rallycross, and then again in 2018. Thank you for joining us here on V8s Online.
I'm walking down the street.